Funny World takes you to Plunge, Ohio. Famous test pilot Irving Flap of utility aircraft tests his human glider. Now watch how gracefully Irving can soar there. He looks kind of sore. Well, better luck next time, Irving. Chicago. Funny World's production staff holds its annual banquet in the Windy City with the accent on good food and informality. That's Miss Olivia Love, our fashion editor, and our idea man, Mervyn Goddett. That's Mervyn there, who produced our next little film, by the way. Now, this is his idea entirely, which not only gives proper credit, it also places the blame where it belongs. And Mervyn says a thrill a minute in this exciting film of clocks. That's the inventor speaking, George Fasty. Now, these rare action shots were made at New York's Museum of Unnatural History. There's the inventor. Now, this unique model sprays perfume on the hour, ideal for those who think time is of the essence. The line was also Mervyn's there. Here's a model called the Prize Fighter. It's an employee time clock that punches back. Here's another one of those thrill-a-minute news shots, one that really clicks. All right, now synchronize your watches. Here's Hummy Fleetfoot, displaying his fearless daredevil stunts that won him the International Safety Convention Award. Hummy plans a personal report as soon as he gets out of the hospital. Bottoms up. That's Hummy all over. Wheels, Oklahoma. A new amusement park opened this week, featuring a barrel of fun for motorists. Drivers have a chance to go around in the best of circles over a closed course, of course. This new thrill ride was invented by Sam Uppanover, who got the idea from watching a clothes dryer. Sam hopes to come out clean on his investment. Whoop. Round and round and round we go.
All right! Step to the rear!
Now, a new rapid transit system is tried out in New York as the city seeks solution to today's rush hour traffic needs. Economy is stressed in this 2-horsepower power unit, which gets 35 miles to the gallon, or bale. And that ain't hay. Or maybe it is. At any rate, it's a funny world. Notice at no time did his head leave his body. Our Funny World reporters cover the spring training of the Junior Olympic track team. Now, here are the harness racers rushing around the track at breakneck speeds. Our busy cameraman, autofocus, gets a close-up of last year's relay winner, Shifty Legworth. There's Shifty now, trying to get the jump on his friends. Our Funny World reporters move in for a close look at the high jumping contest. They must have set a new record there. They've jumped clear out of the field. Our Funny World cameraman, autofocus, without regard for his personal safety, brings us these award-winning pictures from Ashtray, Pennsylvania. At last we can see noted throat specialists relaxing on their day off. These psychologists at the Happy Time Zoo have a special problem on their hands. Nellie the zebra is antisocial and will have nothing to do with her striped cousins. So the psychologists are showing Nellie pictures of different zebras to see which personality type she prefers. But Nellie turns up her nose at all of them. But our Funny World reporter, Gumshoe Phobia, found out what the trouble was. Nellie is not a zebra at all, but a donkey who backed into a newly painted picket fence. Good going, Gumshoe. Funny World scores another first. This man is balancing heavy objects on his chin in keeping with the new belief that strong chins make better fighting men. As these films show, no effort is spared to develop prominent jawbones, either on land or in the water. An unidentified general told our Funny World reporter that if strong chins will be an advantage in the next war, we'll be ready. Keep a stiff upper chin. We're looking at Martha Snakehips, chief tester for the Follow Me perfume company. She tries out her company's newest perfume called Last Woman on Earth. And it looks like the perfume works. So Martha hurries back to her office to report the good news. It's a funny world, even in the perfume business.
Funny World, 55.
Funny World cameras go to the Shark Fin River in Tasmania, where we see Gretchen Goof trying to warn her husband that the water is infested with, whoop, too late. Let's look in on the Lonesome Corners Cafe in Big Toe, Montana, where they've doubled their business by giving customers the bird. It looks like foul play, but the customers aren't getting ruffled. This is the head waiter, Tip Heavy, who's got something to crow about. He's invented a new kind of bird, which we can see here. Although it looks like a rooster, it's actually a cross between a homing pigeon and a parrot, so that if it gets lost, it can ask for directions. We salute Tip Heavy, Businessman of the Week, for putting a real feather in his cap. Crowds gather to watch George Woofer of Tweeter, Arkansas, as he installs a new antenna for his low-pass, high-gain, bass reflex, inverted duplex hi-fi set. That's George now, sitting on his antenna to see if it'll carry a strong signal. But he's being careful, because last week he slipped and spiraled to the ground, making 33 1/3 revolutions per minute. He's been playing around up there for 2 days this time, setting some kind of a record, probably LP. Someone's calling him. As he picks up the phone, his wife, Sapphire, needles him about his long playing. So down he comes, mad enough to trade his wife in on a new loudspeaker. Tough luck, George, but when you're a hi-fi fan, you have to face the music. A Funny World exclusive. At the racetrack of Senor Don Paso Paprika, we get a sneak peek at these champions as they streak across the finish line. Senor Paprika, world authority on dogs, is especially proud of these Chihuahuas, even if they do have gland trouble. Our Funny World camera goes to Overflow, Nevada, as we look in on the George Drip family. Now, if you'll notice, a bit of moisture is in the room. It's because of a leak in the plumbing upstairs, which the landlord refuses to fix. But George has a contract, and he's going to stay right where he is, even if it is a raft of trouble. On the left is his attorney, Plankton Float, who's going over George's watered-down contract to see if there are any leaks. Rather than leave George high and dry, he's going to sue the landlord for making him live in a dive. Don't give up the ship, George. This has been another Funny World exclusive. Funny World takes you to closed Nebraska for the annual golfing event, the National Closed Open. We're on the third tee, and you're seeing the winning form of Harvey Slam. Look at the backswing, a beautiful shot. Note how Harvey sometimes sacrifices distance for a good lie. A heavy money winner last year, Harvey decided this year he'd enter the winner's pool. We'll return to the National Closed Open in just seconds. Here we are again at the third tee of the closed Nebraska golf course for the National Closed Open. We're watching famous golfer Harvey Slam. Harvey calls for his caddy to help locate the shot. Note the club Harvey is using. It's his own invention called the ladle. It's like a spoon, only bigger. Here comes the caddy. The caddy locates the ball. Now watch this amazing shot. He addresses the ball. The backswing. The backswing. There it is. A beauty! Hats off to golfer Harvey Slam. Funny World's cameras take you behind the scenes at the ballet. We're visiting Madame Pirouette's School of the Dance, located just off Broadway, 600 miles off Broadway, actually. It's in Wigg, Indiana. Now, it may look like these are men dressed as women, but actually they are women disguised as men dressing like women. All senior students of Madame Pirouette's School of the Dance and Charm. Note the exceptional grace and poise displayed by these lovelies as they perform excerpts from the beautiful Swan Lake Ballet. Credit must be given to Madame Pirouette's head ballet master, Herman Clumsy, for the excellence of this performance. Herman assures us that all of these young ladies will go on to greater heights, mostly because they're moving the school to Greater Heights, New Jersey. Funny World salutes Madame Pirouette's School of the Dance. Funny World Consumers Report. Now here's the latest in merchandise packaging. It's a fresh frozen swimming pool. Do-it-yourself item, the pool comes fresh frozen in kit form, manufactured by the Cold Slab Pool Company of Chill, Pennsylvania. Now, when the pool arrives, you just assemble according to the easy-to-follow instructions and add water. Now, these films show a gay patio party. Note the ease with which swimmers can either enter the water or climb out of the pool. Your Cold Slab fresh frozen swimming pool is sure to please those drop-in guests. Funny World salutes George Cold Slab for this famous first. Funny World takes you to a circus performer's party. Now, these folks seem to mix business with pleasure, too. Meanwhile, back at the party, here's a flying saucer expert juggling his new set to suit him. This couple shows how to have a good time. Just get your heads together and share alike. Now, not recommended table manners, this young lady drinks a toast and almost puts her foot in it. Funny doings on Funny World. Ready for the carriage trade is this new Baby Buggy Derby, part of the annual festival held in Wheels, Nebraska. Pretty big babies in this case. Now, the object of the race is to cover a specific route in the fastest time without making any changes along the way. The winning team will receive a year's supply of T-bone steaks, strained, of course. And the winners, George Pushhard and Herman Ryder. Well, here's a doggone good game. And this dog is really having a ball. Well, I should say he's trying to have a ball, only the ball is under glass. Of course, Rover can see it, but he can't get at it. How frustrating can things get, Rover? Now, the unique feature here is that when the player gets a score of 100, the dog's eyes light up. Funny dog, funny world. Well, the battle corps turns into a ballet corps, as these GIs take time out during war games for a performance of Tchaikovsky's beautiful Swan Lake. Only this swan looks more like a vulture. Even with clever costumes, it just doesn't look right somehow. But the girls do their best to entertain the troops. Now watch our platoon Pavlova give a pirouette. Give him a hand there, girls. Don't drop her now. She has KP tomorrow, you know. There she goes. Fire Chief Nozzle Hot Flame has perfected a dry chemical for fireproofing floors and carpets. There's Chief Hot Flame and his helper Leaky Spigot demonstrating their marvelous new product on the floor of the city's brand new fire station. With the confidence that comes from 34 years of careful testing, Chief Hot Flame throws a match on his newly treated floor as we salute another milestone in fire prevention. A funny world report from our little-known facts department. The preliminary tryouts at the Indianapolis Speedway is such a big job that it's conducted each year by giants imported from the North Woods. These are full-size racing cars. Now, this year's event was conducted by giants Tall Bunyan and Shorty Cornplaster. The only mishap was when one of the racing drivers got lost. He was finally found in the cuff of Giant Shorty's trousers, mad as all get out. But in true giant fashion, Shorty tried to be big about it. He gave half his lunch to the driver, who should be through eating it sometime next fall. We say farewell to those lovable giants until next year's race. A funny world preview of modern swimming pool equipment. Here's the newest thing in vacuum cleaners for your backyard swimming pool. Designed to look like an elephant, this ingenious vacuum can clean any pool up to 20,000 gallons in 5 minutes. The inventor of this machine, Harvey Backwash, announces that chlorine can be eliminated altogether. To keep the pool sparkling blue, just add 4 tons of salted peanuts 5 minutes before vacuuming. Domestic science marches on. In Gravy Stain, Wisconsin, Harvey Crease offers the public something new in a cleaning and pressing plant. From an entirely new scientific principle, customers can get their clothes cleaned and pressed without taking them off. Harvey pushes a button, and while the customers stand around listening to chamber music, a new chemical called instant grease comes shooting out of the secret panels, cleaning the garments from top to bottom. And now busy men and women can get their clothes clean during their lunch hour. Now here's a close-up shot of Harvey and his uniformed technician as they stand overjoyed at the success of this new business. Good luck, Harvey Crease. Buddy World takes you inside the worn-out Brothers movie company, and this spaceship is going on location to the moon. And these technicians are putting wild wolves aboard. The ticker tape is feeding out information about weather conditions so they'll know which route to take. The animals will be used in all the night scenes, which will show 10,000 wolves howling every time the Earth comes up. The name of the movie will be Shine On Harvest Earth, starring Rock Crater and Lunar Turner. Worn Out Brothers scores again. This is birdwatcher Winifred Weaselwump watching for a certain rare bird called the West Wind Warped-Winged Whistlewoofer. The only one on record was seen by a 98-year-old man in the spring of '06 as he lay waiting for the second appearance of Halley's Comet. It's a rare bird to find, and the reason Winifred wants one is that someone once gave her a book entitled The Care and Feeding of the West Wind Warped-Winged Whistlewoofer, and Winifred hates to throw away books. Don't give up, Winnie. This appears to be test pilot Irving Flap of Futility Aircraft preparing to launch his new blunt-nose monoflash, which travels at the speed of light. After months of waiting for the right moment, Irving is now ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8. He can scarcely hide the joy in his eyes as he gets ready to push the button. 4, 3, 2. At the last second, an old-fashioned jet gets in the way, and Irving calls it off for another day. In these dangerous times where only the men of imagination can survive in a world of rigid economy and fierce competition, we can't help but salute the enterprising genius of Tom Peeping, who has cornered the market in the window washing industry. In a bold attempt to increase business, instead of going to the customer's house to wash the windows, Tom moves the house to his factory. And for rush jobs where the customer must have 24-hour service, Tom uses atomic-powered submarines to whisk the houses back and forth at double speed. A Funny World salute to Tom Peeping, Window Washer of the Week. Close look at Chief Concrete Tester Tender Noggin of the Sandy Base Construction Company. Tender is about to swing into action as his fellow workers help him on with his testing helmet, making sure there's a snug fit. Tender has devised his own method for testing brick and concrete. There he goes, testing the strength of this brand new smokestack designed to last 100 years. We salute Tender Noggin, concrete tester par excellence. This huge airship on the bottom is being held against the smaller airplane on top by a marvelous new airplane glue of unbelievable strength. Chief Test Pilot Irving Flap, now at the controls of the smaller plane on top, shows his confidence in this fantastic glue by loading the lower airplane with 143 tons of lint and daring to fly with nothing but glue between him and the plane below. The 143 tons of lint proves too heavy, so instead they plan to load the plane next time with chicken feathers. Once again, Funny World scores a news beat with these thrilling action pictures taken by ace cameraman Autofocus. These men are actually welding and mounting an outside cover on a new home. Count on Funny World to bring you thrill after thrill. These secret films were taken last week by intrepid Funny World crews of photographers on location at the world-famous Deceit, Nebraska toy factory. Here in Deceit, these lifelike toy soldiers are being tested. If approved, these very toys you see will be on sale at toy stores all over the world. To determine whether or not you are buying a lifelike, manufacturers urge you to look at the label for the famous Deceit sign. It isn't very often Funny World's executive staff finds time to break away from busy office routine, so they usually call in barbers to shave them while continuing their work without interruption. Shown here is Clyde Croich, Funny World's exciting, expensive Hollywood correspondent. Clyde just returned from an assignment with a film company making a new jungle series. He was gone with them on location in the jungle for 17 years. Croich has taken on some of the native characteristics of the jungle, but he's still the same old lovable Clyde we knew. Funny World salutes its own Clyde Croich. Gives us a preview of the newest sports car made by noted designer Ricky Shaw. The designer altogether eliminated the unsightly motor, proving that economy can be fun. To be known as the elbow grease backbender, this speed demon will get 14 miles to a bottle of liniment. Remember, you saw it here first. Funny World takes you inside a heretofore secret school for secret code operators. Our cameras captured what appears to be a message being written by a man disguised as a boy. This method of completely changing the appearance of the code operator is just one of the clever devices used by this world-famous secret school. An interesting sidelight is that the entire school is operated in reverse. This particular class runs from 7:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Odd but true. Another interesting fact, one of the instructors' last name is Radar, which when spelled backwards is the same as being spelled forwards. A thrilling revelation from Funny World. High in the Bavarian Alps in the little town of Ralston on the Rilleroy, this highly skilled technician is making delicate parts for the world's finest watches. It's Adolf Twist, turning out thousands of delicate mainsprings by hand. And he pauses to drink a toast to his 1 millionth mainspring. Our Funny World Consumers Research Department is testing an amazing collapsible kit containing everything for a picnic on the water. Folding into a small box which can be tucked away in the vest pocket, it will be known as the Peter Piper Portable Pontoon Picnic Package, presenting Portland peach pies, Plymouth pickled peppers, pungent Poughkeepsie pomegranates, and Pomona prune pulp for people preferring pleasant pudding. For an extra $1, the whole thing comes in a plastic package. Test pilot Irving Flap of Futility Aircraft testing his newest invention, the helium-filled spacesuit, designed to carry a man to Mars, thus eliminating the cumbersome spaceship. Overhead, connected to his suit by a long hose, we see Irving's spare fuel tank in case he wants to get gassed on the way up. Irving is confident that he'll be able to arrive on Mars looking neat, because his helium suit really holds a crease. In fact, it holds hundreds of them. Funny World salutes Irving Flap. Famous movie stars at a lawn party. This tall fellow is Gregory Hightower. And it's a clipping bee held yearly at Whiz, Wyoming's leading barber shop. These exciting and secret pictures taken by an entirely new process. No film was used in the camera. Funny World salutes nature lover Harlow Blue Chip. When new tract houses began taking over choice grazing lands, Harlow turned his hometown into shelter for these dwarf buffalo, the last of a vanishing breed. And at last, Harlow can realize his boyhood dream of buffalo in every home. There's a young fellow soon to be starred in I Was a Teenage Giant for the FBI. The man with him is Rock Crusher, who used to be 6'3" until he starred in Tom Swift and his Electric Pile Driver. Now this looks like a rib roast, soon to be seen in Rare and Medium, a story of clairvoyance. You'll all recognize Roy Audrey's famous horse, No Talent, who also played the part of Mai in My Friend Flicka. Here's Gregory and Rock once more, who'll soon appear together in a two-fisted western called Either Step Aside or I'll Walk Under, a Funny World exclusive. Your Funny World reporting staff, always on its toes, brings you the full story of the motorcycle mystery. Motorcycle riders who reach the top of this hill seem to disappear mysteriously as though swallowed up by the earth. Our Funny World cameraman, Otto Focus, concealed his camera in some bushes at the top of the hill and found the answer. There is not a hole at the top of the hill after all. Otto's films show it's simply a 4,000-foot cliff, thanks to Otto Focus, finder of facts. A report on the new Vitamin X 1659J. These old-timers all over 65 are holding a waltz contest after taking this amazing vitamin for just 1 week. Hot rod racing and bronc busting are just a few of the wonderful sports now enjoyed by thousands. Community singing takes on a new flavor as this chap sings that beautiful old ballad, I Poured Molasses on My Girlfriend and She Sits There with Goo-Goo Eyes. Here he is singing. Test pilot Irving Flap tries out Futility Aircraft's lighter-than-airplane for Funny World cameras. The Night Flying Shocker, the world's first electric blimp. It has a 90-degree vertical takeoff, requires only 80,000 feet of runway to charge its batteries. Another successful test by Irving Flap. The fast-growing Funny World Zoo shows some of its recent acquisitions. Here are a few of the rare specimens from far-off places. From eastern Pennsylvania comes the ferocious miniature Schnauzerossi, the shy Terrierosis, and the wide-eye Amaziosio, as well as the strange Fedora hattus, seen in this once-in-a-lifetime pose, were all captured on an extended safari into the wilds of Cucamonga. Funny World's musical director, Boris Please, inventor of the world's largest portable accordion. He shows details of the Please Blow Booster. This was made of giant watch springs and expands the bellows in time to any beat on the split second. It can be played from within in case of rain or mob violence. A Funny World first. Thank you, music maestro, please. Funny World's Hollywood correspondent, Clyde Croich, brings us the latest innovation in headgear and sunglasses. These exclusive films show what appears to be those well-known movie stars, Bridget Mordo and Winky Wolfbait, wearing the new styles. Now here, Clyde Croich and his hard-working camera crew shoot a sidewalk interview outside of famous studios' gates. Now that looks like child star Tommy Hawk arriving, ready to start work in the new release, I Was a Teenage War Chief for the FBI. Another scoop for Funny World. Peaceful Stream, Nebraska. Conversion of a surplus riverbed to a commercial asset. Here are workmen of the Peaceful Stream Project busy dredging out the channel of the Little Topangahela, a tributary of the mighty Missisquoi. In just a few short years, this very stretch, where scores of workers wield ore like shovels, will be converted into the Peaceful Stream Seaway. Huge ocean-going freighters will tie up and take on hay, grain, and feed from wharves in the heart of downtown Omaha. A Funny World toast to the coast of Nebraska. Funny World Wall Street Report. Exclusive films of an important merger between two giants in the bicycle industry. We'll have the names and how this merger will affect our nation's economy in seconds. Two huge financial empires were joined into one corporate family with the wedding of Cynthia Treadwell, heir to the Treadwell bicycle tire fortune, and George Thinwire, president of the Pedal Car Wheel and Spoke Company. Wall Street predicts our economy will enter a new cycle. Zoologists are forced to revise their opinion as to which animal is king of the beasts. A recent Funny World safari discovered a ferocious animal heretofore unknown. It's the rare East Durobian fur-covered meat grabber. Note the fear instilled in larger animals by the very sight of this voracious little beast. Shortly after these films were taken, this fearful animal devoured our camera, 6 cans of film, and a tripod. Always first with the newest beauty aids, Hollywood has come out with a coin-operated instant beauty salon. Watch the change in this young lady's appearance. This new beauty vending machine can create over 100 Parisian hairstyles in only 10 seconds. It also removes wrinkles, tones the skin, adds the subtle tint of makeup, gives a complete manicure, adds 3 coats of nail polish, steam cleans white sidewalls, and applies 6 coats of metallic blue spray enamel. Funny World salutes this example of modern scientific progress. You're about to see an exclusive film obtained at great expense and with special permission from the Leapover Racing Stables of Leapover, Kentucky. The leading girl racing trainer, Miss Henrietta Startgate, saddles up Leapover's possible Derby winner, Milk Run. Watch the tremendous speed as Milk Run churns up the track. Funny World salutes the cream of the Leapover Stables' fine animals. Funny World's Aviation Progress Report. Here we see Irving Flap, Chief Test Pilot for Futility Aircraft, testing the newest addition to the world of flight, the Swallowcopter. Now watch Irving leap into the air. There he goes. Another tribute to Futility Aircraft and to Irving Flap, genius of flight. A Funny World travelogue takes you to the Christmas Islands and a rare performance by the native Christmas seal. 2 seals were scheduled to perform, but one was canceled by the local post office. Now, this seal also serves as lifeguard at the local beach resorts. Watch this rescue. Here's a lifeguard who really knows his ropes, and one who shows real affection for the local townsfolk. Now, if you'd like to join our next travel tour to the Canary Islands, write our travel guide, Miss Gilda Cage, Post Office Box 6. Here are 3 enterprising young men. They've organized a grandma sitting service. If Mom and Dad want to take in a ball game, these boys will grandma sit for just 50 cents an hour. They provide entertainment, as you can see. And notice how Grandma eagerly watches their performance. They even prepare late-night snacks of tasty upside-down cake in case company drops in. Why not organize a grandma sitting service in your area? There are a few choice franchise cities still open. For information, write Grandma Sitters, care of Miss Gilda Cage, Post Office Box 6. Famous racehorses parade in the paddock and ups and downs racetrack. Note the eagerness of these swift racing animals as they head for the starting gate. They're off and running at ups and downs. Funny World Consumers Report. The latest in outdoor patio barbecue clothing is tested by our Chief of Research, George Sprayhead. Now, this unique garment is ideal for approaching overheated barbecue grills or ovens, since it provides the wearer with a thin film of moisture to guard against the heat. Just enough to cool the weekend outdoor chef. For information on where you can buy this handy outfit, write to Flood Clothing Company, Post Office Box 6, in care of Miss Gilda Cage.